in the heart of what would become Kenya, nestled within the verdant, rolling hills of Maranga, a man walked between worlds. His name was Mugo wa Kibiru, and he was not an ordinary man. He was a Mugo, a seer, a prophet, a vessel for messages from the spiritual realm. His home, a humble homestead near the rushing waters of the Moragwa River, was a place where villagers and elders came with furrowed brows, seeking clarity from the mists of the future. In a time when the hills of Maranga were a deeper green and the forests whispered older secrets, there was a boy named Mugo, son of Kibiru, to his siblings and friends. He was simply Mugo, a little quiet perhaps, with eyes that seemed to watch the dance of light through leaves a moment too long. His mother, Wanjiru, would often find him not with the other boys practicing with shepherds, slings or racing down goat paths, but sitting silently by the family's grain store, his small hand resting against the weathered wood. "What do you hear, my son?" she would ask. "The bees in the thatch are talking about the rain," he might reply, not as a child's fancy, but as a simple statement of fact. "They say it will come from the direction of Kiranyaga tomorrow, just after noon." Wanjiru would smile and nod, but she stored these words in her heart, and when the rain did come, precisely as the boy had said, she would exchange a glance with Kibiru, her husband. There was something in the bloodline. Kibiru's own grandfather had been known to have thin ears, able to hear the murmurs of the spirits. Mugo's true difference, however, was felt near water. The river, Kairumrum, was his secret place. While other children splashed and shouted, Mugo would wade to a still, deep pool shaded by a giant Migumo tree. There, he would submerge his head. To the others, it was a game of holding breath. But for Mugo, the roar of the world would fade, replaced by a clear, cold silence. And in that silence, images would bloom. The first time it happened, he was 7. He saw a perfect, vivid picture of his eldest sister's lost beaded necklace, coiled in the hollow of a specific stump near the shamba. He fetched it, presenting it to her without a word. The second time, he saw a leopard's print by the spring a day before the herdsman found it, saving the goats from being driven to that spot. The village began to whisper. "The boy sees," they said. The elders, led by the wise medicine man Muthiora, took notice. One evening, Muthiora called the boy to sit by his fire. "Mugo, son of Kibiru," the old man said, his voice like dry leaves, "tell me what the fire tells you." Mugo stared into the dancing flames. He didn't speak for a long time. Then, his voice changed, losing its boyish lightness, becoming distant. "The fire speaks of a journey, of men with skins the color of ashes, carrying sticks that breathe fire. It speaks of a great, wounded bull that will lie across our land for many seasons." The elders around the fire stirred uneasily. These were not images of lost necklaces or leopard prints. These were fragments of a future too large for a boy to hold. Muthiora placed a gentle, gnarled hand on Mugo's head. "You do not just have thin ears, child. You have the seeing eye. It is a heavy gift, heavier than a fallen log. It is not a game by the river." From that day, Mugo's childhood began to dissolve. His lessons changed. He spent less time tending goats and more time learning the sacred histories, the names of the ancestors, and the complex patterns of prophecy and metaphor. Muthiora taught him how to ground his visions, how to interpret the swirling images so they could be understood by the people. The other boys sometimes teased him for his solitude, calling him Mugo Wanadiri, Mugo of the trance. But they also held a fearful respect for him. He never played the guessing games. He always knew who was hiding where. One afternoon, during his initiation season, he had his most profound boyhood vision. Sitting by the sacred river, he fell into a deep trance. He saw the land segmented by strange, straight lines, not paths made by feet or animals, but harsh mathematical divisions. He saw the people struggling, their backs bent. But then, he saw a great multicolored flag rise, and a feeling of immense hard-won peace settled over the hills. He awoke shivering, not from cold, but from the weight of a century pressed into a single moment. He ran to Muthiora, stumbling over the words. The old seer listened, his eyes closed. When Mugo finished, Muthiora sighed, a sound of both sorrow and pride. "The path is set before you, little prophet. You will carry the sight of our people through the long night. Your childhood ends here, by this river. Now, You must learn to be the vessel. You are no longer just Mugo, son of Kibiro. You are becoming Mugo wa Kibiro, the seer, and the people will need your eyes for generations to come. Mugo's visions did not come at will. They descended upon him like a powerful storm. He would feel a trance overtake him, his body trembling, his eyes seeing not the physical huts and farms, but swirling images of things to come. His prophecies, spoken in riddles and potent metaphors, were diligently memorized and passed down by the community. For the Kikuyu people knew that Mugo's words were threads in the fabric of their destiny. For many years, his prophecies guided the community through internal affairs, warnings of droughts, advice on leadership, and insights into social harmony. But as the seasons turned, Mugo's visions grew darker, tinged with a strange and terrifying foreboding. He began to speak of a time of great upheaval. He saw a long, narrow snake that would slither across the land, its belly spitting fire and smoke. The elders listened, bewildered, until decades later, the British built the Kenya-Uganda Railway, a long, narrow train cutting through their territory. Mugo had seen its coming. His most chilling and persistent vision, however, was of white butterflies that would settle on the land. They would appear gentle at first, but their touch would bring a profound and irreversible change. These butterflies, Mugo prophesied, will carry a strange magic in their hands, sticks that thunder and kill from afar. They will bring a new god, a book, and strange ways. They will take the land, our lands, and fence them like captured beasts. The people were troubled. Who were these butterflies? How could something so delicate pose a threat? Then, Mugo's visions became even more precise. He foretold the arrival of people with skin like pale earth, who would come from the great water in the east. They would carry the thunder sticks and wear clothes like the husks of a strange plant. With them, he said, would come a period of great suffering, a time when the people would be forced to labor on their own stolen lands, their traditions mocked, their spirits broken. But Mugo wa Kibiro was not merely a prophet of doom. Woven into his grim predictions was a thread of hope, a crucial instruction for survival. Do not fight them with the spear when they first come, he advised. The thunderstick would win. Watch them, learn their magic, their knowledge, even their language. Swallow your pride for a season, for in their book and their ways, you will also find the tools for your own liberation. He foresaw a time of conflict, a great burning, a hint of the Momo uprising where the land itself would cry out for freedom. And finally, he prophesied the coming of a flame tree. When the flame tree blooms in brilliance, he said, a son of our soil will rise, will break the chains, and we will reclaim our destiny. Many later believed this pointed to the rise of Jomo Kenyatta, the first president of an independent Kenya, whose political party was symbolized by the red flame tree Mugo. Mugo's final days were shrouded in mystery. It is said that having delivered his burdensome knowledge of the centuries to come, he walked toward the sacred Mount Kenya, Kirinyaga, the throne of Gai, the Kikuyu god. He told his family he was going to consult with the ancestors. He was never seen again. Some say he ascended, his work complete. Others that he simply became one with the mists of the mountain he revered. For generations, as the British colonizers arrived exactly as described, the white butterflies, with their guns, religion, and fences, the people remembered Mugo's words. His prophecies became a secret source of resilience. They understood their suffering was part of a predicted cycle. They learned the colonizer's language, adopted his education, and organized, just as Mugo had instructed. Today, Mugo wa Kibiro is remembered not just as a mystic, but as a cornerstone of Kikuyu historical consciousness. He's the prophet who saw the colonial wave before it crashed, who prepared his people's psyche for the struggle, and who, in his enigmatic poetry of future sight, helped preserve the identity and hope of a nation through its darkest night, all the way to the dawn of independence. His story is etched not in stone, but in the enduring spirit of a people. Thank you for watching. Please give this video a like, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more African stories.